This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Have you tracked down a thief yourself? I love these stories. Have you turned PI, private detective? Did you do it yourself? Actually, story when I was growing up, there was a group of mates who had some of their vegetation that was stolen from a...
Oh, tomatoes?
Yeah, from a backyard from their house. The thing was, though, the thieves just basically, because there was so much of it, they just dragged it out the front yard, dragged it up the road into a house that was about 6 houses up. So the guys just walked out and they could see the trail of where they dragged it into the house and where it was.
You'd probably be able to smell the tomatoes as well.
Called the cops and it was done.
Tommy, you got done citizen's arrest once, didn't you?
What for?
You nearly got 20 years for bad fashion. Crimes against
I
fashion.
thought you were going to say impersonating a man again.
No, that was the 6 o'clock joke.
Okay, so this lady was getting her mail stolen all the time. So she had a mailbox at the Los Alamos post office in the Santa Maria Valley. Great PO, that one. Very good. I mean,
spot.
Big lineups, but you can buy some great stuff in there. So anyway, she said, no one's helping me out. She was ringing the cops. There's nothing that we can do about it. So to stop the thefts once and for all, the woman decided to ship herself an Apple AirTag.
Okay.
So she sent herself an Apple AirTag.
Clever.
She sat back, waited. She went to her letterbox that day, the day that it was supposed to arrive. Bang, it wasn't there. So the chase was on.
Okay.
She did the right thing. Instead of chasing the people down, she did ring the cops. They said, well, why don't you keep an eye on it and we can meet you at a certain spot. They went to the house where these people, and it wasn't just her mail, they were doing everyone's mail in the area.
Were they?
And there was just stuff that was being sent everywhere. Done, dusted, case closed.
How good is the AirTag, side note? Like, when we were doing the City to Surf as a family, the kids said, can we run ahead? I said, yeah, go for it. Lisa said, are you crazy? There's 90,000 people here. And I went, got you, babe. I've AirTagged them. I got AirTags in their pockets. So I could see...
Still tough, though, where there's 90,000 people around.
I could see the entire time making their way down New South Head Road from the city where they were.
Yeah.
Oh, they've stopped. They must be at a drink
they're
station.
At the Golden Sheaf.
They're at the Golden Sheaf. They're still there now. It's 3 weeks ago.
Ashley in Wollongong, how did you catch the thief, Ash?
Hi. So when we were in school, basically people's belongings kept going missing and they assumed it was a student. So basically the school got put on lockdown where you couldn't go to the bathroom, you couldn't leave anywhere.
Yeah.
If you had to go anywhere, you had to have a pass. So this went on for about a month or so, and then one lunchtime, my friends and I were walking down the stairs and saw this girl rummaging through people's bags in one of the classrooms. So we basically ran up to the classroom and yelled out to her, and she's run out the other side of the door. So we run around and basically chased her through this part of the school.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we grabbed her and questioned, just kicked in, so grabbed her and just asked her what she was doing.
Yeah.
She managed to run away, so we ran to the front office and told them what was happening and gave a description of what she looked like. Basically, they put the school on alert, and one of our teachers had the description and actually tackled her to the ground.
School on lockdown.
Yeah, so it turns out that for about a month or so, she had been breaking in every lunchtime and going through everyone's school bags and taking laptops and phones and anything she could find.
Well done to you, Ash.
Yeah, and she had a car of a couple of other people on the other side of the oval basically waiting every time to get away from the school.
Wow. Good effort. Do you remember there was a guy, he was a terrible individual, called Matt DeGroot, used to work on this show. And he lived in an apartment block where the lady was below him was obsessed with online shopping. She died.
She passed away, though.
All the items kept arriving. DeGroot knew she was dead. He would just go and get a box.
He'd just go pick up shit. No one else is picking it up.
He was reselling it on
Family
Facebook.
wasn't going to come and pick it up. Ava in Glenwood. How old are you, Ava?
I'm 12.
12. You didn't catch a thief, did you?
Yeah.
What happened,
This is
Ava?
dangerous, Ava. What happened?
So we went to a car wash and my brother had left his AirPods in the car. That night when we got home, he checked Find My iPhone and they were in some random suburb. My dad ended up calling the car wash place, and they denied everything.
Of course.
And my dad sent them the photos of the Find My and said he was going to call the cops. They ended up giving us the AirPods the next day.
Funny,
Yes,
is it?
Ava.
A nice little threat there, Ava, and bang, AirPods are back.
Well done, David. Detective Ava, well done. Warwick's given us a call from Plumpton. You caught a thief, Warwick?
Yeah, I did. So it was late at night, probably around midnight or 1 o'clock or so, and we had a door sensor or a gate sensor, and it kept on going off, and we're like, oh, it's probably the cat. But we found out it wasn't because as I peeked out of the window, I could see someone snooping around the cars.
Scary.
So there was a bat that we had. I grabbed it and I just walked out to the front yard. And then literally as he heard the door unlocking, he started to walk away. Followed him out about a couple of houses down and grabbed him by the shoulder, spun him around. The guy literally crapped himself from fear, not expecting someone to actually follow him.
I mean, literally.
And then when he saw the bat, I'm like, what are you doing in the front yard? And he started shaking and he's like, oh, I was just looking for water. I'm like, you're looking for water at midnight next to our cars? And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, if you want water, you come and knock on the door and I would have given you water. The guy just legged it and ran off. It was just hilarious.
Well done, Warwick. Well
So
done.
he literally filled the back of his strides.
You've got to be very careful. Carl in Windsor, you caught the thief, Carl?
Yeah, I've caught many. I used to be an investigator for a
here we
large
go.
Australian company investigating retail crime. So
Okay.
one time we had this guy and he stole a couple of lawnmowers from us. And then a couple of days later, we found him trying to sell them on Facebook Marketplace. So we organised, we teed up to buy them off him. He thought that we just wanted to buy a couple of lawnmowers.
Yep.
And then we turned up at his house with photos of him stealing them and took them back from him.
I mean, Carl, what an idiot to think. I mean, how many days later were they for sale on Marketplace after he'd stolen them?
Oh, it was up the same day. It was a couple of days before we'd realised they were up there.
Yeah.
But he had them advertised the same day. So it's surprising how much it happened.
If you're a criminal, aren't you going to find an on seller first? Like, if I was going to steal lawnmowers, then I reckon I'd be posting a photo first to find the interest and make sure I've got someone to buy it before I'm just thinking about how I'd be a criminal.
Well, remember back in the day, the number one thing, in the old days, your parents, if someone stole something from your house, the first thing that they would do would go to the local pawnbrokers.
Yep.
Because that's...
Cash converters.
A thief would always... So with a pawnbroker, you've got to give your details, don't you, when you're selling something?
I think so.
There'd be so many times at pawnbrokers where someone will come in and go, hey, sorry to tell you this, but that's my engagement ring.
Yeah, if you could give that
All
back.
right, fill out these forms and I'll track down the person that sold it to me.
All right, good luck, everyone.
Caitlin in St Helens Park, what lengths did you go to catch a thief, Caitlin?
Hello. Well, it was worth about $8,000, so it was a pretty significant amount. So I work for an online company, and one of the things that I do is I have a very suspicious turn of mind, so I do a lot of the fraud checks and things like that. So we reach out to people to be like, hey, did you actually use your credit card to make this purchase?
Yeah.
And I generally get them to send through their ID and a copy of the credit card with, most of the numbers covered so it's secure and things like that. And this person actually responded, which normally when they're fraudy, they don't, but things just still felt a bit hinky. Yeah. And so I was looking, I was like, nah, it just doesn't feel right. Because they sent through a credit card that was still in their name, but it was a different credit card number to the one that they'd used, and but it was a company credit card. So I rang the company and I was like, can I speak to, so-and-so that's on the card? And they said, oh, yep, he's the CFO, we'll put you through randomly, which I was like, okay, well, just put me through, that's fine. Yeah. And I said, oh, by the way, did you make any purchases with us yesterday? He's like, no, I didn't. I said, oh, has your wallet been stolen? He's like, yeah, it got stolen out of my car last night.
Oh my God, you're good.
So,
they got the $8,000,
like,
so you caught the thief?
Yeah, well, so what happened next was we had the police contact us about a week later and said, hey, we've caught these people breaking into cars in this area. They've got some of your product on them. Can you check them and see if they should have it or if they've been stolen as well? And when I checked those, it linked back to one of the email addresses that had been used for this $8,000. And I said, yep, so it's they shouldn't have them. They've been, deemed stolen or whatever. But by the way, they've also stolen this. It's linked by these phone numbers and these email addresses. Yeah. Do you want the details for this as well? They're like, yep, send it all through. All up, I think they stole about 15 grand worth of things from people's cars and different credit cards and things like that. So, got an update from the police that they've been on trial. All of it have been sent, and they got sent to jail.
Do you know, Caitlin, that's why I think women would make better detectives, because their intuition is extremely powerful and far superior to the male beast.
I don't know if intuition gets you over the line in a court case, though.
Yeah, well, that's what led her to look deeper into that.
Julian in Oatley, your old man caught a thief, Julian.
No, that was, how you going, everyone? Love the show.
Love you,
thanks,
Julian.
Mate, yeah, good bloke.
No, it was my brother, Ads. He used to work in the bottle shop, and so he's working late. And the police have come in and said, mate, there's a Chinese guy coming around, fake credit card, and he's buying really expensive alcohol from everywhere.
Yeah.
So they said, if he comes in, just, let us know and we'll come down and get him.
Yep.
And my brother Ads, he's a big boy. And so this bloke's come in and Ads has recognised him about 11:30 at night. And then, so he's getting all these bits and pieces, and Ads has gone, you know what? I'm going to have a free shot here. I'm going to get this bloke.
Did he shut the store, or he said, I'm going to get him myself before he runs out, Julian?
No, I'm going to get him myself.
Yeah.
So what he's done, this bloke's gone to the back. He's getting all his alcohol. And then Ads has walked out pretending to load the shelves. And as he's walked past him, Ads has turned around and dead set smashed him, coat hanged him. Bloke's done a complete flip. Bottles everywhere.
Yeah. Yep.
Out cold on the floor.
And found out it was the wrong bloke. Oh, no, Jules.
I mean, it's probably important to say that anybody in retail right now, that's not the way to do it. Call the police.
Mate, so Ads has flattened him. Then he duct taped his hands, called the police. Police are rocked up like, Ads, what have you done? He's, mate, I've done you a favour. There he is.
Done your work for you.
Mate, that's it.
Bloody Ads is on him, mate.
But see, Julian probably should have rang the cops first, I reckon, before doing the coat hanger and the cable ties.
Mate, if it's a free shot, it's got to be done.
Lucky Ads didn't have a taser on him.
Christine in Carringbar, tell us about your brother.
So my brother, he's a plumber and has heaps of expensive tools, and they all got stolen one night, and so did his mates. And he called the police up, and the police were like, oh mate, we're so busy at the moment, we'll get to it in a few days. Yeah. And my brother was like, nah, that's not good enough, that's just not going to happen with me. So his mate was like, oh, I've got an AirTag on my tool. They went to the house, knocked on the door, they slammed the door back on his face, so my brother kicked the door down. And then all of a sudden the garage door started rolling up. He's walked in and he said it was like a black market Bunnings warehouse. All of his tools were there.
What?
All of his mates' tools were there. And it was obviously they've done it heaps of people, because there was even tools from about 8 months ago that got stolen from his truck that he found that were there as well.
Oh, you're kidding me.
But he was in the house. Christine, was there any rumbles or what happened? Because that could be quite scary. You don't know where you are.
Well, the guy who stole the tools jumped the back fence and pushed his girlfriend towards my brother, as if she was going to do anything.
What a low life.
And then that's when the roller door just went up, and then him and his mates just grabbed all of these tools. He goes, I reckon I've got tools that weren't even mine by accident. He says, I got so excited. It was like Bunnings on Christmas Day.
So he became the thief. So now he's just got stolen goods.
It's like Robin Hood. He gave him out to his mates.
Robin Hood. Oh, my God. Modern day tradie Robin Hood.
Oh, steal from the rich, give to the poor.
How good is that?
Fits in Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.